Hi friends, this is the lesson number 10 in this series of British literature, and we are talking about the Anglo-Norman literature, and in this lesson we shall be discussing about some of the important poems of Anglo-Norman literature. So the first is we have Pearl. This is also called as the religious allegory because it contains some religious symbols about heaven and life and what is afterlife. It's a dream vision. A father who is mourning on the death of his daughter, and the name of that daughter is Pearl. This is first. And now about the content, the father is thinking about his dead daughter, and in the night he is sleeping and has a dream, and in the dream he sees his daughter. She is perfectly dressed in the heavenly clothes, and in this heavenly city as well. She is in the heavenly city, and in between, means between the father and between the daughter, there is a stream. So one side he is himself, and on the other side is the daughter, and he tries to cross the stream, but as soon as he crosses, he is awakened and the poem is completed. So the central idea we have, a father is mourning on the death of his daughter, and the title character Pearl is the name of the daughter. And then next poem is Patience. Patience, this poem has its source from Vulgate's Bible. So when we are talking about Bible, so obviously it's a religious poem. Number two, what is the Vulgate's Bible? Uh, there are different versions of Bible which are translated by many persons. So Vulgate was one person who translated Bible. So that is why it is called as the Vulgate's Bible. What is the characteristics of this Bible? We will have a separate lesson on the all means different versions we have available of Bible. In that we shall talk about these things. But in this poem, the poet gives the message to the reader that one should have patience, giving several examples from the Bible. The next we have purity or cleanness, whatever the name you call, purity or cleanness. It's again a religious poem. It talks about the cleanness of our body and the delights of the married life. So in this poem, basically the poets warns the reader about the dangers of enjoying the married life or having too much delight. Having, if someone is completely lost in such a sort of a delightful life, there are dangers. And further he talks about what are the joys of having purity and cleanliness in the body. So there is a somewhat comparison between a married life and the life which has purity according to the poet. The next poem we have, that is Chanson Digeste. This is first, it is written in Norman French language, and second, it contains the matter of France. So matter of France means it is related to the great king of France, Charlemagne, and it talks about the period of 8th century. And one example means in this poem there are several incidents related. So one is that songs of Roland. In other words, we can say that Chanson Digeste is itself is the collection of several poems based on the matter of France, and one example or one poem among them is Songs of Roland, and it talks about the Battle of Roncesvalles that was in the 8th century or so, and all that happened in the Battle of Roncesvalles, it was during the reign of the king Charlemagne. So this is all we have to remember about this poem. The next we have The Owl and the Nightingale. This poem is also called as the first debate poetry or in the verse form. It's a versicle, and it's about a debate between the two birds. These are owl and the nightingales. So what is the content? The narrator of the poem, he overhears the debate of these two birds. They are arguing about several topics like songs and each other's appearance, their follies and their weaknesses, about human behavior as well, and then about the lack of toilet trainings among these birds. In this debate, they do not reach to any conclusion. This is the point. They do not reach to any conclusion. Then the other bird suggested that they should go to the master Nicholas of Guildford. They should go to him and ask him who is the better between these two birds. Among the means when they comparing their arguments, who is the better among these two. And then the poem ends with these lines. With these words they went off, without any army, without any troops. So even in the end of the poem, we do not come to know who is the winner in this debate. In the previous year, one question was there, that who was the arbiter or who was the person to whom these birds go for. So they went for Master Nicholas to decide which one of these two is better. The next poem we have Cursor Monday. About this religious poem, there are several points to be noted down. First, the title Cursor Monday is taken from the Latin words. So these are the Latin words. Secondly, what is the meaning? Its meaning is runner of the world, and it's written around 1300 AD in Middle English. The title is in Latin words, means these words are from Latin language, but it is written in the Middle English. And what is the content? It talks about the history of the world as it is given in the Bible. So it's completely a religious poem, and there are 10 manuscripts. These are some facts. So you may not enjoy these facts. There are 10 manuscripts of this poem and two distinctive versions. The first one is the northern original and the second one is the southern adaptation. And the southern adaptation is also called as an attempt tailored and older text to changing market. I do not know what is the meaning of it. As I found, I have just told you. Then further, Cursor Monday is divided in 7 ages of this salvation history. So all these are just about the religious things. So whatever, if you could remember, that's fine. So that's it for this lesson. You may find that these poems are especially the shorter summaries of these poems is not that interesting, or it doesn't really give you any taste of literature. Yeah, that's fine, because you are absolutely right. But as for the UGC NET syllabus is concerned, it's so vast, and for these are just minor poems, even their name is enough. But if I just literally tell you the name of the poem, it's a bit better that I should give you a little introduction to it, because it will at least help you remember somewhat about the poem. If simply I just tell you the name of the poem, it will not help anything at all. So that's it. It's enough for this lesson, and in the next lesson we shall be talking about the age of Chaucer, from where you will find that some longer works or very important things will be there, and you will definitely enjoy them. So thanks for watching this lesson, and I hope that you are continuing your journey of learning the literary things. Thanks a lot.